attacks journalists. Antifa attacks our police stations. They attack our courthouses. They dox our law enforcement officers. No more. They are a terrorist group, and we are coming after them.
We are here at the White House today to unmask Antifa, to follow the money all the way to the top. If you want to get to the bottom of who is fomenting this chaos and violence in our country, you must follow the money.
I was a mainstream reporter in Seattle for 10 years before I quit mainstream media, in part due to its refusal to acknowledge the dangers of Antifa and radical left-wing violence.
Part of the problem that we have is that a lot of people refuse to believe that Antifa is real, it is just a made-up thing, but I have seen them. They are real, they are dangerous, and they are violent.
They are an organized, systemic, international criminal enterprise. And what the FBI is going to do is trace the money, follow the funds, and find every single person that was involved in funding the riots and the violent acts of criminality that they're perpetrating on our street.
I've watched Antifa brutally beat, harass, and threaten Americans in the street, but all of that ends with the Trump administration.
I was brutally attacked and almost killed by Antifa in the streets of Seattle. All of my colleagues have been attacked. I can't think of a single one who hasn't. Violence against journalists and police officers in our streets can't stand.
Just days ago, I was in the Portland jailhouse, and now I'm in the White House. This administration is built different, and Antifa's days are numbered.
And I want to thank President Donald Trump for designating Antifa a terrorist organization, and I'm looking forward to the FBI and the DOJ hunting down these people like the terrorists that they are.
All I gotta say, it's a bad day to be Antifa.
And Antifa's days of using violence and intimidation against their political opposition are over.
And I've continued to report on them over the years, despite the threats of violence and actual violence that's happened, because I owe a thank you to this country, the United States, for settling my parents who were victims of communism in Vietnam.
1 month ago, Charlie Kirk was murdered by a violent leftist. We all saw it, and we all saw thousands of leftists celebrate it. Antifa symbols were found on the bullet casings of the gun used to shoot and kill my friend.
We won't take it anymore. President Trump is not going to stand for it. And I'm so grateful that we have a leader in the White House that understands how we need to fight these sophisticated networks and how we need to take these terrorists out.
I've been attacked by Antifa, doxxed by Antifa, harassed by Antifa, but we're not standing down. We're now coming for you.
Welcome everybody to the Glory Today show. I am Glory. I'm your host of tonight, guys. I have a great show for you guys, and I'm curious about what you're going to think about the show of tonight. So if you're watching us from YouTube, Facebook, right now we are streaming on YouTube and Facebook alone, but we trust God that in the near future, we'll be streaming on multiple more platforms. So you just watched the White House official statement on Antifa, and they even put together something amazing that I've not seen before happen. They brought some journalists, investigative journalists that are really going on the streets, those who are going and doing the work that journalists are supposed to do. And most of them are just YouTubers. Most of them just have the contents on social media. They are not high-pay MSM journalists like those who sit in their little chairs, make comments of things that they don't really have a full understanding about just because they get paid to give their comments. They just give it without regard whether it's true or not. But these guys are people who go on the ground. They get assaulted. They get attacked just because they're there. They're showing the raw, truth of what's happening. So you just watch what the White House brought all of them together in the White House. They made them sit there in front of Donald Trump, and he was able to hear them, and they was able to take action based on their experiences, and with especially Antifa. Most of them know what Antifa is, the anti-fascism. That's what they stand for. But we've seen them also during the BLM, anti-fascism. Yes, I just saw in the chat now. You see, that's a good thing about checking the chat. I just saw in the chat that they ask, what is Antifa? Antifa stands for anti-fascism. So, and what we saw, let me just give you a little bit of maybe from my notes what Antifa. Antifa is a radical terrorist organization that explicitly calls for the overthrow of the U.S. government, law enforcement authority, and the system of law. And that is what the Donald Trump administration has done, has taken a firm stance, declaring them as a terrorist organization. That's really big if you think about it, because during the BLM, the Black Lives Matter movement, we saw many of them in action big time throughout the world, destroying. Most of the time when there is a protest, you see people are peacefully making their voice heard. What you see happen often is that Antifa will come in, will infiltrate the group, and they will bring a massive, big-time destruction like never seen before. They will destroy businesses. They don't care if it's for black people. They don't care if it's even for the people they are trying to defend. So Antifa has been really in rampage for so long. During the Sleepy Joe administration, we saw them running around and doing destruction without care for any repercussion whatsoever. So now what Mr. Trump did, you might like him or not, but what he has done here, no one else, those who came before him, I should say so, they were not even able to come close to what this man has done. This man, single-handedly, with his administration, he stood against this idiocy. He stood against this diabolical regime, and they said, enough is enough. I will not have you guys destroy our country any longer like you have done in the past. So he called them a terrorist organization. What does that even mean, them being a terrorist organization? So according to the official White House communication, this designation gives federal law enforcement expanded powers to investigate, prosecute, and dismantle Antifa's networks. The administration has made it clear political violence and anarchist movement that seeks to destabilize the U.S. nation will not be tolerated. That's really massive. That's big, guys. That's really amazing. So I just wanted to start the show with that video. If you didn't get a chance to see it, you can just rewind. You get to see that video. What does this mean for the rest of the world? If you think about it, in the Europe, because Antifa is a global movement, guys. Really, don't take them for granted. Don't be deceived. Do not be manipulated. Antifa, they are global. They are huge. This policy sends shockwaves internationally. It establishes, if I may, it establishes Antifa. It put them in the in the binocular. It put them in the zoom lens, and it establishes a precedent that other nations are watching closely. Some world leaders have expressed support for strong action against domestic extremists. The extremism that we are seeing right now globally, it is huge. It is violent. It is destructive, and we cannot ignore it anymore. While others have raised concerns about civil liberties and the definition of terrorism, Hungarian Prime Minister Viktor Orban has been vocal in his support, of course, of strong measures against anarchist violence, stating that nations must protect themselves from those who seek to destroy law and order from within. The implications are significant. This could influence how other Western democracies approach domestic extremism. Domestic extremist groups like Antifa. We saw it in France. We saw it even in Amsterdam. We saw it throughout Europe, how much destructive this group are. They claim that they're fighting for the people, but they don't, because most of them are being backed. And this is what the Trump organization has done. They are going right now, or let me not say they have done, but they are going to go after those who are financially backing Antifa, those who are providing them with the means to continue to do their atrocious acts, like George Soros organizations and many, many others. If you can just find it on X, there's really tons of information that they've put out there why they came to this conclusion, right? So, what can I say? Before we dive deeper, I need you to do something for me, if you will, beloved viewers. Please share this video, share it with your friends, your family, your WhatsApp groups, your Telegram group, your Facebook group. This information that needs to reach people, it can only do so by your support, by your help. We can only do so if you guys just chip in and help us reach as many people as possible, right? And if you haven't already hit that subscribe button, I encourage you to do so. We are building a community of truth seekers, and we need you in it. We need you to help us stay up to date. We need to help us stay focused on information that really, really matters. So now, as we are diving into the show of tonight, we're transitioning to the topic that we dealt with last Wednesday. This Wednesday, we dealt with a very important topic, and it's a topic concerning, what can I say? It's a topic concerning genocide. It's a topic concerning Christians around the world, and it's a topic that really matters to most of us all. Now, before we go further, I want to take you back to what we discussed. We talked about something that the world refuses to acknowledge: the genocide of Christians around the world, especially in Africa. The statistics are staggering and are heartbreaking. Thousands of Christians are killed in Nigeria every year. If you don't know, if you think like, okay, but how many is 1,000? I will encourage you to watch the show of Wednesday, because we really went deep into that, and I show you all the statistics so that you understand what we're talking about here, all right? According to multiple human rights organizations and congressional reports, Nigeria has become one of the most dangerous places in the world to be a Christian. As crazy as that is. Open Doors USA consistently ranks Nigeria among the top countries where Christians face several persecutions. Jihadist violence continues to escalate, and Christians are particularly at risk from targeted attack by Islamist militants, including Boko Haram and Fulani militants. This is really tough. We saw some images of on Wednesday of what's going on in Nigeria, and it's heartbreaking. I'm not going to take you guys through that again today, but I just encourage you to take a look at it, of the show of that last Wednesday. The Observatory of Religious Freedom in Africa has documented systematic violence, kidnappings of clergy, destructions of churches, and displacement of entire Christian community. It is crazy across the continent. It is crazy. Congressional leaders even have called for Nigeria to be designated as a country of particular concern for religious freedom, violations, and atrocities, citing the overwhelming evidence of Christians' persecution. It is there. All this information is there for the taking, because you might wonder, is this really true? Beloved, I won't bring this to your attention if it was not true. So this is 100% true. I looked into it, and I make sure I bring to you facts. This isn't just a Nigerian problem, by the way. It's happening across Africa. It is in Mozambique, the Democratic Republic of the Congo, Mali, Burkina Faso. For those who speak French, they call it Burkina Faso, Burkinabe, and beyond. Christians are being slaughtered. Their villages burned, their churches destroyed, and the world is just silent. You hear cricket from MSM, you hear cricket from Muslim world leaders. So I want to show you short videos. It's a short video that we did not get a chance to see on Wednesday, but this short video being able to bring in illustration what's really happening in Nigeria. So I encourage you to take time, to take a moment, and to just watch this short video as a reminder of the horror that unfolds.
Sir, yesterday I spoke bitterly at Kubon a village in Boy district because of the killings. These people came and they killed 7 people. What actually pains us most is it has already been in record that the Moravul man has never attempted attacking a person. We have never done that. We've been piping our youths. And indeed, the Moravul man is a law-abiding person. Yet, these people, they are persisting. What actually is paining us most is when our youth, stand to defend, to react, the security personnel are fighting us. They are fighting us. Most of the casualties in the hospitals, they were injured by these soldiers. I don't actually know. Have they come to secure the life of people or to fight the people? Knowingly that the Fulani man is the man that is always attacking us. They knew, and they have done nothing about it. Besides that also, I want to say this to your hearing, Commissioner of Police. Hear this very, very well. The people used to come with sophisticated weapons. Sophisticated weapons. I have an exhibit of what happened. What is this? What color? Which color is this? Is this not army green? This is what they use. But when our boys will stand with their local, I say local, just local made gun to protect their land, your people will fight them and will also collect it. We are bitter about that one. We are bitter about that one. And so we want to say this categorically, that if these people will not, if they will not support us, if they will not support us, please clear them away. What happened at Yambas? What happened at Yambas? The soldiers were sending our youth away, and the Fulani people were burning our houses, and they didn't stop them. And they just stood, and they allowed them to burn our houses. Nothing was done about that. Sir, enough is enough. What this woman have just said, I want to emphasize on that. People saw it. After the killings, the soldiers brought 3 hillocks and they convey all the Fulani man back. How do we interpret that? That is our grievances. Thank you for coming, creating your time to come.
So we can see the frustration in this village man. And the craziest thing about what he's saying, Fulani came to our village and killed even people. When our youth rose to defend our people, the Nigerian army stepped in to protect what? The Fulani terrorists. In the process of defending the Fulani terrorists, they ended up harming the youth who was standing for their village. Let that sink in for a moment. The government, the very institution meant to protect its citizens, is the institution protecting the terrorist. That makes you wonder, is this really just about terrorists not being able to be held accountable by the government, or is there more here in play, really? That's my question to think about it, really, beloved. Is there more in play here than what we are seeing or what we know? If you have information out there, you watch the show, you know somebody in this area that has information that that will help us in this show, that we can be able to bring out there, please let us know. Let us know, and we will bring it to the world's attention, because enough is enough. Something needs to be done against this one. Innocent Christians are being massacred. Families are being torn apart. Children are being orphaned. Women are being widowed. And when communities try to defend themselves, guess who stand against them? Their own government turns against them. Does this remind you of anything, guys? Does this remind you of another place in the Western world acting like this one? And yet the world is just silent. The United Nations silent. The international media silent. Where is the outrage? Where are the protests? Come on, people. Where are the hashtags? Where are the celebrities speaking out? Where is Christians? When it's Christians being killed, the world looks on the other way. The world looks the other way. Where are the world leaders with pins on their clothing, calling for stop the killing, calling for Nigerian life matters, Christian life matters, all life matters? Where is that all outcry gone, beloved? In that same spirit, what's happening in Nigeria, you need to understand, beloveds, that it's not an isolated incident. It's not just something that's happening there, because this is happening here in Europe as well. This is happening in the UK. This is happening in Amsterdam, in the Netherlands. This is happening in the US. Christians are being attacked even here. If you know a place that we are not mentioning chat that you think we should mention, if you know a place, drop it in the chat. Let us know, and I'll bring it. I'll make sure I bring it on our viewers' attention, because it's so important that we continue to talk about these topics. It's so important that we don't stop until accountability is taken. So there's a video that I want to show you, beloved, because it is about Christians that have been attacked, not only in Africa, because Christianity is under attack across the world, and now it's even happening in the broad daylight in the hearts of Europeans, in the hearts of Europe. I don't want to say it, but shamefully I have to call Amsterdam the heart of Europe. My Lord, can't believe I said it. A video surfaced of a Christian street preacher being aggressively attacked in the middle of Amsterdam in the broad daylight. She was sharing her testimony, her story of how God set her free from addictions, how Jesus transformed her life. When she was attacked, she was dragged across the streets, assaulted for preaching the gospel in Amsterdam, in the Netherlands. This happened right here close to me, around me, in a broad daylight, in a city that prides itself on tolerance and freedom. Believe it or not, beloved. Believe it or not. Christianity is under attack across the world. And legacy media is silent. When a mosque is vandalized, it's international news all over the place. Oh my goodness. It's everywhere. It's in the front page of newspapers. When a synagogue is attacked, world leaders issue statements. But when a Christian is assaulted for sharing the gospel, crickets. The double standard is glaring. It is glaring. The hypocrisy is undeniable. And it's time for you guys to stand up. It's time for you guys to start talking. We cannot just let this pass us by. Please, if you have that video of that lady, cue it for us. If you can't find it, I think I do have it. I can play it for our viewers. I think. You got it? Okay. This is in Amsterdam. I should just praying in tongues. This is how crazy it has gotten, people. This is how crazy it is. In the broad daylight, in Amsterdam. In the broad daylight. In the broad daylight. Please just play it again without a volume, because I want to bring something on our viewers' attention. This is happening whether we liked it or not. This is what's happening. And the rest of the world is even worse than this. If those people did not intervene right there and then, guess what's going to happen to that woman? allegations that are there that it is Turkish Muslim men who attacked her for simply preaching the gospel on the street. The religion of peace. How is the religion of peace being so aggressive? These people are showing you who they are, but for some reason, the Western world is not wanting to admit it. Please show the image number 1 on the screen, just behind me, so that, not next to me, just behind me. This is what European leaders, yes, this is what European leaders are trying to hide from you. This is what European leaders are not showing you. Beloved, I'm telling you, these things are happening, whether we like it or not. Just put that image on the screen so that viewer understand now what it means. Put it next to me. So, and this is a double standard, guys. Yes, this is a double standard of what's going on. Grooming white girls, door number 1. RAPING, white girls, door number 2. But somebody posts a meme in the UK, their dog get kicked in, they get interrogated, their phone get taken away from them, and sometimes they go in jail just because of posting a meme. This is what UK freedom of speech and preaching goes hand in hand. Freedom of speech looks like in the UK nowadays. If we're going to talk about the United Kingdom even more, the UK's freedom of speech ranking as plummeted, really, once considered a bastion of free expression. The United Kingdom is now arresting people for what they say, what they post, for what they say or for what they post online, and even what they pray. I don't know if you viewers, you know that in UK there is something called a thought crime. In UK, you get arrested for what they call a thought crime. So who is the arbitrary of what you're thinking? Who says what you're thinking? Who says what is the thought crime really? Them, apparently. They can come to you. They can arrest you. They can antagonize you just for what they believe you are thinking when you're standing right there. Christians are being arrested just for praying silently outside abortion clinics. Street preachers are being threatened with arrest for quoting the Bible. People are being investigated by police for social media posts that express traditional Christian views on marriage and gender. But oh my God, the government, they're not protecting free speech, they are criminalizing it. But oh my goodness, look at around you, the so-called religion of peace. They can block the whole street because they want to bend over like dogs in the street and kiss the ground like pigs. But no, it's all good. There's nothing wrong with it. In the UK, there's a guy who got arrested just because he was wearing a t-shirt with the paintings of bacons on it. Bacon, just because it's made from pig. And they arrest him. Why? Why? Just because you're wearing a t-shirt of bacon. So that's how crazy it has become. That's how crazy it is, beloved. So as we move forward, we need to really clearly, that's a beautiful quote right there. We need to really clearly understand what's happening in the UK. They are not. This is what happened in the UK. Let me just say right now. Christians are being treated like criminal for their faith. Christians criminal. Yeah. People are being punished for expressing belief that have been held for thousands of years. UK is even a Christian country, right? Am I mistaken? Everything that they do in UK, they post their hands on the Bible. UK, the kings get blessed in the church. And they're trying to transform it so that it could become a Sharia law nation. To fear quoi? like the Nigerians say. So, beloved, where are we going? What is next? What is really next? People are being punished for simply expressing their beliefs, and the world chooses to be silent about it. Where are the free speech advocates? Where are the civil liberties organizations? Where are the journalists defending the fundamental right to express your belief? They're nowhere to be found, because when it's Christians being silenced, suddenly free speech, freedom of speech doesn't matter anymore. Like the quote behind me, if you put that video on screen fully, it says, they don't ban hate speech, they ban speech that they hate, by Elon Musk. Elon Musk has been speaking really loudly about these topics. So I encourage you guys, if you have not done so, help us share this video with a friend and family. Share this live stream, because it really do a lot for us to know that we are reaching out as many people as we can. Really. And this is another interesting quote from Keir Starmer. His statement is very interesting, it's intriguing. It's very intriguing. I don't know if you have it, if you don't, because I see that I have a link here. So if you don't, maybe I do have it. He says, actually, free speech has not been abolished in the UK. And we will jail anyone who says it has been. Does that make sense to you? Free speech, freedom of speech, has not been abolished in the UK. And we will jail anybody who says that it is. So I'm going to find the quote. They're making noise in the studio here. They're making noise. Let me find you this video. I think it's not a quote, by the way. It's a video. Forgive me for saying it was a quote. It's a video where he's saying this thing. So let me see if I can play it for y'all, because it is so important for us to understand what the UK PM is saying here. Freedom of speech has not been abolished in the UK, and they will jail anybody who says that it is. I did not make this thing up, so you're thinking like a glory. Come on. Common sense, there's nobody in their good mind who will make a statement like that. Oh, wait a minute. Just give me a second, guys. Oh my goodness me. My goodness me. Not you. I'm not looking for you. I'm looking for my friend. My friend. Yeah. So this is so interesting. Drop a comment in the chat, guys. I'm looking to hear from you about what you think about this. What you think about this incredible statement from our freedom of speech fighter. On my days, oh my days, oh my God, oh my days. The church say, oh my days, these people are ridiculous. Free speech is permitted except for anyone who says it isn't. Is insane. Indeed. It doesn't make sense. So as long as you agree with me, you can exercise your freedom of speech. But the moment that you disagree with me, your freedom of speech is not valuable anymore. So if you say that the freedom of speech doesn't exist, I'm going to jail you because the freedom of speech exists. This is the video. I don't know if you can put it on the screen. So and the chat says, so you are still going to be jailed for what you say, indeed. Yep. Okay, here it comes.
Free speech has not been abolished. Free speech has not been abolished.
Listen.
Free speech has not been abolished. Free speech has not been abolished in the UK, and we'll jail anyone who says it has been.
You look at the smile on his face. Somebody got to help make sense out of this. He knows what he says. He knows that he is foolishness. You can take it off. Thank you. So freedom of speech has not been abolished, but Anybody who says it is will be jailed. Welcome to the world of allowing politicians to make decisions on what is a freedom of speech and what is not. And also, I like what they actually, before we move on from this, because I'm just quickly checking to make sure I cover all angles on this one. Ooh, I forgot to mention this one on the Antifa craziness, because this is powerful. I'll show it now. So just stay with me for a minute on this, guys. I want to show you the Irish government has informed the AU they will not comply with the demand to force hate speech laws on the public. Hugely significant moment for free speech. Hugely significant moment for free speech. This is huge. This is massive. So I'm just going to play this short video for y'all. And if you're from Ireland, you'll appreciate it. If you're from the UK, you'll appreciate it. From the United Kingdom.
Is it your intention to reintroduce the hate speech legislation that was a dramatic failure in the last government and proposed by the previous Minister for Justice?
The answer is no, but can I just give you an overview as to why the answer is no? I'm fairly satisfied that Ireland has transposed the European Council framework decision on combating certain forms and expressions of racism and xenophobia in a manner appropriate and tailored to the domestic system of law in Ireland. I want to assure members of the House that Ireland's position has been communicated to the European Commission, and our position is that the framework decision is fully transposed in Irish legislation in a manner that is appropriate and tailored to Ireland's domestic system of criminal law and procedure, and is in line, of course, with Article 40.6 of the Constitution, which expressly respects and protects the rights to freedom of expression and people to express their views freely.
There you have it, guys. There you have it. Thank you so much. So anyway, because of lack of time, there's this short video I wanted to show you from Nick Charlie. And this young man is 23 years old, man. I didn't even know I was 23 years old. This young man goes around the globe and bring to light what Antifa represents. What they call freedom of expression, right? They express themselves by antagonizing everyone else's freedom of expression who does not fit in their little bubble of what they stand for. Check this video out quickly, what he says. Very, very, very intriguing, very deep.
Yeah, my name's Nick Shirley. I'm 23 years old. I'm a 100% independent YouTube journalist. And over the past year or so, I've been able to go to 15 countries. I've hung out with people in the gangs of Brazil, in the favelas, in the prisons of Secot. But yet the most dangerous places I have been here in the United States, unfortunately. And I've had the opportunity to show people about the protest Antifa here in the United States, and there's nothing organic about what they are doing here in the United States. I've watched people be bussed in from states. I've watched the same lady at a protest in Atlanta be bussed to the protest in DC and then in New York City. There's nothing that is honest about what they are doing. And they have signs. I've seen the same signs here in DC and in London as well. It's a big organization and corporation that they're running. And people may wonder, like, what's the threat to us as Americans if we go? Well, you'll be labeled as a fascist, you'll be labeled as a Nazi, and they'll wish death upon you because they wish death upon me. And just last week in Portland, Oregon, I watched a lady get trapped in her car, surrounded by Antifa, and her sister messaged me after seeing the video. She said, the only reason I think my sister was safe is because you were there recording. I also was chased out by a member of Antifa who said he would smoke me, and next thing he knew, a DHS sniper had lasers on his chest. If he was not there, who knows what would have happened that day. These people are very dangerous, and people wonder how they're able to do it. The reason is because these cities are not enforcing the law. And why should these people be worried if the law is not being enforced? And we are not far right, nor are we far wrong. We're just right. And the truth about what's happening here in America with these groups is very dangerous, and I thank you, Mr. President, and your administration as well for acknowledging that.
Thank you very much. It's too bad you have to go through it.
I know, it's a little crazy, right, Mr. President?
Well, you're going to get to the bottom of it, so it's a very important thing you're doing. Thank you very much.
You see what I was telling you about, guys? This man is amazing. This man is just incredibly amazing. But hey, let's move on because we're running out of time and we have a one or two more topics to cover tonight. The irony here is clear when it comes to freedom of speech. Say what I agree with, and every time you say what I disagree with, then we have a problem. Then it's not freedom of speech anymore. It become very crazy. Do you see the Orwellian nightmare unfold before our eyes? You are free to speak as long as you don't say what the government doesn't like. In the UK, you can express yourself as long as you agree with the official narrative. You have liberties as long as you don't use it. That's the world we live in today. And if you dare to point out that free speech is being eroded, if you just dare to point that out, if you dare to say that the government is silencing dissents, if you dare to speak the truth, you're in trouble, my friend. This is not freedom. This is tyranny dressed in the language of democracy. And we are seeing this in the US as well. I wouldn't be surprised if you hear eventually that in January 6th in the US was infiltrated by Antifas, because the aggression we saw there, there's no way that a Republican will do such things. I say that. I say no more. This is authoritarianism wearing the mask of tolerance. George Orwell wrote in 1984, and this is what he said: freedom is the freedom to say that 2 + 2 = 4, if that is granted, or else follows. Freedom is the freedom to say that 2 + 2 = 4, if that is granted, or else follows. In the UK today, if you say that 2 + 2 = 4, if you speak biological truth, if you quote scriptures, and if you express traditional belief, if you just dare to express your traditional beliefs, you risk arrest. Thank God I'm not in the UK. But how long until it comes here too? This should terrify every freedom-loving person on the planet, because if it can happen in the UK, it can happen anywhere you are. Believe you me. I come from a country that has been destroyed because of wars and stuff like that. And I don't want to see that happen here. No, thank you. Nevertheless, let's move on. There's a story that most of you have been watching right now. And if you have not, that's all right. We're going to bring it to you. The Maverick. So this is going to be, I think, our last story of tonight. The Maverick City music is in the news again. And as we shift gears, we are going to talk about that's something that is shaking the gospel music world right now. Two of Maverick City's music founding members, Chandler Moore and Naomi Rain, have announced that they are stepping away from the chart-topping worship collective to pursue new seasons in their ministries and personal callings. That sounds interesting, right? For those who don't know, Maverick City Music has been one of the most influential worship movements in the world. Many churches, many conference events are really worshiping and sharing their music worldwide. And in a heartfelt statement shared on Instagram, both Chandler Moore and Naomi Rain shared their statements. These guys have won Grammy Award. They have collaborated with major Christian artists. They shaped the sound of modern worship music, really. But after their Grammy last time, just recent Grammy Award, something has just shifted. You could just see that something has changed. Something has just looked different. Thank you for putting that on the screen. That's Chandler Moore and Naomi Rain. Something has just become different from them. After the recent Grammy Award, it just something was not good. Chandler Moore described the decision as a bittersweet after years of pouring his heart into the ministry. But here is where it gets complicated, because there's more to this story than just two artists moving on to new season. Chandler Moore, we've been seeing videos of him collaborating, or let me say singing secular music, trying to make a mixture of worship songs with secular music. If you don't know the impact of this, you think what's wrong with it, go and check our show that we did on the spirituality in your playlist, because we spoke about the impact of secular music and how the enemy uses it. So what Chandler Moore has been doing, and he's been drifting slowly into things that make you question his faith. You could see all this liberalism in his behaviors, and it made you wonder, Chandler Moore, what are you up to, my boy? What are you doing? This is not right. So I'm telling you guys, as a worship leader, as a musician, we need to have more spirit of discernment, because we are always in the microscope of the enemy. It's ever coming after us. So this idea that we have, you go, you minister somewhere, and then you go home and rest, has to change. Because without prayers, without discernment, without consecrations, we will not be okay. We will be in trouble. I promise you, we will be in massive, huge trouble. Because you can see it all over. You can see it in the life of Maverick City. If Maverick City music will collapse, first was Dante Bo who left. And then Dante went into the world, started doing this weird music things. He made a clip with these naked women shaking their bum. It was weird. Everybody was like, Dante, whoa, what's happening? And then suddenly, Dante came back, which everybody was like, okay, that's good. But then you hear what's happening to Maverick City. Do you have that statement of Chandler Moore? Is that possible to put it on the screen? When we're starting from 1, yes. So basically, in the statement, Chandler Moore says, these last 2 years I've been locked in on what really matters in my life and in my career. It has been scary at times, but it has also been full of fresh visions and real excitement about the futures. So now he says, with that, I have made the bittersweet decision to end my relationship with Maverick City Music. When we started Mav, I was grateful to have community. Make it full screen for me, please. I was grateful to have community. Thank you so much. I was grateful for community and belonging while fulfilling my dream of making music that will help people experience God. Next one. And we did that. I can't even read that anymore. And yeah. Okay, let's go to next, because that one is covered by text on my screen, so I can read that. And we did that in ways I couldn't have imagined. Hallelujah, thank you. Next image. So now, make it full screen again for me. To the fans and supporters, thank you all for rocking with me from the start. Your love, stories, and encouragement have helped me in low moments, he says. To Naomi, Brandon, Dante, Aaron, Joel Lee, HB, MJ, and everyone else who was officially a part and unofficially, because there were thousands, hundreds, let's say, of you, LOL. I think about all the good times and the moments each of y'all have encouraged me and been there for me. Y'all are legends. I can't believe I got to work with y'all in this way, especially moments I won't forget. Okay, next image. Yeah, I have some text in my screen sometimes, so I cannot see it all. So forgive me for that. Next big screen. I've already seen it. Yeah. Let's go. The transition isn't easy. Mavericks, this is what the key is going to point out some keys. The transition isn't easy. Maverick is something I poured my heart into. So it is almost like saying goodbye to your own kid. I know there may be press and conversations around certain business matters that my legal team is handling. That's a key, what you mentioned there. But my heart, my energy, and my focus are on what's ahead. The dreams hasn't changed. I'm stepping into this next phase, ready to share my stories and make music that helps people feel a little more human, a little more understood, and a little less alone. I hope there's a room for God as well to do his work through you. So, do you have another one, or that's it? That's it. So basically, understand that the decision that Chandler Moore made, he says it's not easy, and I understand it's not easy. But the question is, where does it come from? It is good to really take a moment and a ponder on this idea. It's like, there is more to it. Because how do you know there's more to it? The lawsuit he was able to place against his manager and against his CEO of the co-founder of the Maverick City. So we're going to, my guy's going to maybe take a moment to look at that. But before that, I want us to take a look also on the statement put out there by Naomi Rain, because that statement is also quite profound. So let's look at the statement of Naomi Rain, please, if you may. So our dear Naomi says this: after a lot of prayers and consideration, you see, I've decided that now is the best time to share that I'm no longer a part of Maverick City Music. Not that I've left or decided to leave, or I'm going to leave, or I'm leaving, but I'm no longer a part of Maverick City Music. Being a part of Mav truly changed my life. What started as a group of folks singing in a shed has turned into something I could have never even imagined. This journey has changed my life forever. I don't regret one single thing. The highs, the lows, the lessons, all of it, I've learned so much about God, about people, and about myself, and I will always carry those lessons with me. Every song I sung, every song I was a part of was written and sung from a pure place, just me wanting to please God. You hear the language different, her language is different than that of Chanda, to be honest with you. Just me wanting to please God. And now I believe God has given me the green light to step into what he's calling me to do individually. Still writing, still singing, still worshiping, and leading to others in worship. Thank you very much. And leading others in worship just on my own. So now, to just dissect this one a little bit quickly, is that it's very interesting when people come and say, you also see this in the churches, like, I've been praying about it long and hard, and God has told me to leave the church, or to leave this, to leave that. I'm like, why do people make this decision when things are shaking up a little bit, when there is a bit of tension? Then people comes like, I've been praying about it, and God said, this is the time. I'm like, So God just was waiting the ground to be shaken before he can open the door for exit for you? Why did the God not do that when things were okay, when everything was blooming, right? When you were, before you went to the award winning ceremonies. Before going there, why didn't God speak for you to leave? And now suddenly things are shaking up. Then you hear Chandler, you hear this statement like, God has confirmed, this is the time for me to leave. Come on. Dear sisters and brothers, hallelujah. Anyway, so you can make your own decision, all good. I'm not judging you. I'm just saying it's a bit fishy to say that God has finally realized that this is time for me to leave because of that. So if you don't know who Chandler Moore and Naomi Rain is, I just want to play this short video for you to understand who these guys are. So keep that statement on the screen like that, please. And let's move on to the next video because there's so much I want to say, but I'm holding my breath. So don't judge me.
So glad you leave the 99, always for the one.
Talented guys.
So glad you leave the 99. Oh, I remember when you came and saved me. I'm glad you leave the 99, hey, always for the one. I remember when you came and grabbed me. So glad you leave.
So that's Chandler Moore, by the way, that you just saw there. So just for the sake of, see, these guys got talent. See, when you hear their music, their gospel, their worship, let's call it what it is, their worship, it is worship. You say it's good, but the only problem is that, man, when you're mixing now God's work with money, of course we need finances. But when you start making a business model, that's when things go wrong.
From my sin, I'm glad you leave the 99, always for the one. Oh, the overwhelming, never-ending love of God. You leave the 99, always for the one. Oh, the overwhelming, never-ending love of God. You leave the 99, always for the one. Oh, the overwhelming, never-ending love of God. You leave the 99, always for the one. Oh, the overwhelming, never-ending. So glad you
Leave the 99. Anyway, well, I think hopefully God is gonna leave the 99. It's gonna find you, man. Anyway, so there is a videos. There are some YouTubers out there. They put some videos of Chandler Moore singing Rihanna songs, mixing them with Christian songs, singing them. But I'm like, my friend, you know. See, on the surface, their statement sounds like a mature, faith-led decision. An artist sensing God's leading and having the courage to follow it, even when it means leaving something successful and comfortable. But there is more to the story than what meets the eyes. I know there is more. I know there's more. See, Ren shared her similar statement to that of Chandler Moore, expressing that Maverick City has been a beautiful chapter in her life and that she's forever grateful for the family and the music, the impacts they've made together. She indicated that she feels God's leading, God's calling her to a new season, one where she can grow. All those things she made. Again, gracious, thoughtful, seemingly spirit-led. But the timing and the context raise questions all over. Many people asking questions. My friend. The ship is rocking. Now it's time to jump off with in the next boat that just passed by that looks bigger. Or doesn't look bigger, that it looks less shaky. Well, but the timing, because the announcement the timing of the announcement didn't just happen in a vacuum, to be honest with you. Didn't just happen in a vacuum. So I'm going to let you guys fill in the rest. I'm going to let you guys take a moment to investigate the rest. Figure it out, what I'm saying. I'm not saying anything. I know. Yeah, it's a good music. I'm not saying much, but I'm saying I'm giving you the room for you to do your own personal investigation. So now, there are accusations made by Chandler Moore against Jonathan Jays, who is their CEO, and about the Maverick City. We're just going quickly. Let me just go quickly through this because we are really out of time. My goodness me. Quickly. Here. And there is these allegations that have been made against Jonathan Jay, the co-founder of Maverick City. Co-founder. Keep calling him CEO, but he's CEO. Co-founder. Thank you for putting that on the screen again. Well done. Notes, wrong one. Thank you for showing my notes. I appreciate you for that. So Don't worry, Kati, you're doing a good job. There have been reports of a legal dispute. There's not even been a report. There's a legal dispute. There is a legal dispute. Questions about financial management and concern about how the ministry has been run behind the scene. Jonathan J. has responded to these allegations. And let's just show these statements on the screen right now as we go through them. Because Jonathan J. has defended himself and the organization, stating that the allegations are false and that Maverick City Music has always operated with integrities and transparency. He emphasized that the ministry will continue its missions and that the truth will ultimately come to light. When you hear somebody say the truth will ultimately come to light, because they also, my God, there's also allegations against Chandler Moore that I saw. I did not get a chance to really go deep into it, but there are allegations against him concerning him with womanizing and apparently did some weird stuff. I won't even mention it because I cannot verify it yet. But there are women that came out. Let me just say it that way. So, but it's because he's a servant of God, I'm careful on what I'm going to bring out there. So I leave it at that. So here we are, two founding members living in a legal dispute, allegations and counter allegations, questions about integrities, about finances, about directions of the ministry and the gospel music empire in crisis. I mean, I don't want to read his statement. I mean, I know I read the one of Chandler Moore, so I'm kind of obliged to read this one. Am I not? Over the years, I've made it a point to stay silent. Man, do I have to read this? So, but some point that he made, he says, I've never wanted to be a distraction from what Maverick Cities and a TRIBL were built to do. Create space for real, raw, redemptive worship that transcend culture and church walls. But in light of the recent speculation, innuendos, and he called them innuendos, man. Wow, balls, man. And allegations made by Chandler Moore, I can't remain silent, not when the truth is being distorted. I've spent my life building this, and I won't let a series of lies go unchecked. Next one, please. Oh, Lord have mercy. To be clear, the claims being made against me, against Norman, and against our companies are categorically false. These aren't misunderstandings. These are calculated attempts to strong arms a way out of agreements Chandler Moore made freely and later breached. You hear that? Our business dealing with Chandler Moore were forthright, generous, and above reproach. We acted in good faith, gave more than what was required, and consistently extended grace. That says, those are the key words. Consistently extended grace. So here is speaking to behavior, speaking to character, and speaking to things done that we might not be privy to. Any allegations of misdeeds are simply not true, and we welcome a full and honest examinations because the truth will speak for itself. My goodness. That's interesting. Next one, please. I'm just going to jump it. So the next one, it says, it saddened me deeply to see Chandler publicly allege something so widely untrue. Ooh. Just to jump in, so much has been given to create space for a new sound and a new standard in worship, and I refuse to let a false narrative undo what so many people have labored, sacrificed, and prayed for over the years. Next one. Let's move on. Last one. Almost finishing. You don't have any other? And yet, in all of this, I remain hopeful. Point. The mission of Maverick Cities is bigger than any one person. I do believe that strongly. Because you leave a group, it doesn't mean a group has to collapse suddenly You know, so this idea that we have that everything run around us when we're serving God, God has to be first. So there is much to be said on both sides, on Chandler Moore's side, also on the management side, because when you start making a business on what God has, money is not evil, but it's the root of all evil. You know, say that, say no more. So, brother, you open until the Lord. Okay, we will keep lifting the name of Jesus in every room he opens until the Lord himself says our time is up. We stand on truth, we stand on integrity, and we will not be moved. Maverick City Music co-founder, owner, and the CEO. Oh, he's a CEO. You see, I was not far right. I was not far wrong. Jonathan J. So, but also you have to understand that there's the many things that Jonathan J said on an interview on YouTube that brought so much to light that caused a lot of questions to be asked about the dealings of Maverick City. Because what Jonathan J said, let me just close this. I don't know why this is open. See, what Jonathan J said in that interview, it sparked a lot, man. I'm like, people, we need to learn how to stop boasting, because he boasts about Maverick City being a business model, not a ministry anymore, not focusing on the gospel, but focusing on filling stadium and making a lot of money while they do that. So I'm not really much sure why he said that. So let me just see if I can find a part. No, they don't have that. It's hilarious. So John, in the studio, you guys are crazy. So what Jonathan J said also sparked a lot of commentary. So if you can put it on the screen for me, just do it so that I can show our viewers what I'm talking about. Just shortly, we're just gonna shortly in his interview with Norman. This is Norman Gamfi. This is not Jonathan J, but this is Norman, and Norman is also part of the founder. Excuse me. This is Norman here. It's one of the CEO, co-founder of Maverick City. It's one of really a big guy. So what he says, and this is an interview with Isaac Correa. He's also one of renowned gospel worship leader, very respected man of God. So listen quickly.
And so what you got with Maverick was you got the type of music that was expanding and the best talent. And you put those two together, and I was like, shoot, you know, the solo artist thing cool, but these jokers can fill arenas. I saw it then. I knew God had gave me this vision of worship music filling arenas, and I always thought it was gonna be somehow, like, because the group called Undivided with Travis and Israel, and they were gonna run it, and together, very similar to Maverick.
Okay.
This was it's 2017, Maverick started in 2018.
Wow.
But we couldn't work it out for various reasons. But if you look in the notes in my phone, you'll see we had these names, and Chan was one of them. What's the dude name from, he's from Arizona. Oh my Lord, white worship leader. Can't think of his name. But the fact of the matter, what I'm saying it for is,
be surprised
God was putting collaboration in the earth.
Mm-hmm.
And what you saw with Maverick is you saw this collaborative effort. You saw this thing, this ethos of, we gonna disrupt this whole thing. Mm-hmm. And transition was, I stopped working at the church. The pandemic had hit. Marketing was what I had. I owned all these cameras. I had this big company. We were doing marketing for Lifetime, BET, and all of this. And I basically just went, I was flying to Atlanta to meet with Tony and JJ. I ain't even telling the whole story the way it should go. So I'm gonna back up.
Okay, I think we get it. So if you get a chance to watch this whole interview, you're going to hear what he says. And this is what my take from this. This is what I know, guys. This is my notes as we are ending the show. The gospel is not a brand. It is not a business. We need to make this seems like we need to clarify this a little bit more. The gospel, let me repeat, is not a brand. It's not a brand. It's not a business. It's not a platform for fame or fortune. It is the power of God unto salvation. Understand this. Believe you me, it will save your life. And when we start treating the gospel, when we start treating it like a business, when we start building empire instead of building the kingdom, when we start chasing streams and sells and award instead of souls, we lose the very thing that makes the gospel powerful. It's purity, it's holiness, it's integrity. Jesus didn't come to build a music empire to fill stadium like he said and make fortune in the process. He came to seek and serve he came to those who are sick, or he came to seek them out. I think he came to seek them. He came to the sick and he came to seek and serve the lost. My God, words. He came to die for sinners. He came to reconcile humanity to God. And when we use his name, when we claim to be in ministry, to be ministers, when we stand on stage and lead people in worship, we have a responsibility, a sacred responsibility, beloved. Let's don't make joke about this. James 3:1 says, "No many of you should become teachers, my followers." Let me say this. Not many of you should become teachers, my fellow believers, because you know that we who teach will be judged more strictly. Will be judged more strictly. Let me say this again. No many of you should become teachers, my fellow teachers, my fellow believers, because you know that we who teaches will be judged more strictly, more intensively. That applies to worship leaders. That applies to Christian artists. That applies to anyone who stands in front of people and claims to represent Christ. I promise you. I don't know what's in Chandler Moore's heart. I don't know what's happening behind the scene at Maverick Cities. I don't know who's telling the truth and who's not. I cannot tell you that. So I cannot pretend like I do know that. I'm not privy to that information. I do not know this. The world's watching and they're asking, is Christianity real? Or is it just another industry? Is worship authentic? Or is it just performance? Are these leaders genuine or are they just building brands? We need to be careful, we need to be discerning, and we need to hold our leaders accountable, not with judgment and condemnation, but with love and truth. Hold them accountable because the gospel is too important, the message is too precious, and the souls at stakes are too valuable for us to compromise. Listen, we are ending the shows tonight. I want to talk to you about the war in Gaza and how that has been put to end, but we don't have no time for that. Because the question that I have on that, all those people running around like chicken without a head on the streets, from the river to the sea, free Palestine, where are they now celebrating the freedom of Palestine? Where are they now? Ask yourself a question. Where are they now standing and say, yes, Palestine is being freed? This shows you that it's never been about freedom of Palestine. It's always been about propaganda. It's always been about their... No. In fact, studio, I know you're going to maybe chop my head off because we are definitely out of time. And I keep saying that we're going to end the show. And you warned me. But it's this lady's video that I just want to show you guys quickly. That she shared something, some of these questions that I'm asking our viewers tonight. And then that I promise you that will be it. Because when they tell us that the people are starving, when they tell us that children were going hungry, children were this, were that, when they were selling all these lies to us, and then many of y'all bought it, many of y'all believed it, many of y'all, there are people who are Christian today that stood against Israel. I'm like, people of God, do you even understand what you're doing? Do you even understand what that means? You going against Israel as a Christian. We can't fathom the impact of that. Let me check my closing notes because I'm going to keep my closing notes very, very, very short. By the way, we're going to end with that video. So make sure you have it ready so that our viewers get to listen to that video, okay? The video about David. So, are you ready, guys? Give me that sound. Give me that sound.
Is it just me, or like, where are all the pro-Palestine people when Trump just made this announcement and there's officially a deal being made? Like, everyone that I know is celebrating the fact that the hostages are coming home and that Israel is stepping back. So where are all of the people who were protesting and celebrating? If this was not an anti-Jewish thing, why are you not all screaming from the rooftops? I'm a little confused.
I'll leave it there. Just stay there. It's all right. So now, remember the video about the starvation, because now Palestine in Gaza celebrate the end of the war and announce that they have enough food to feed all of Gaza for 3 months. The genocide and the famine are over. What do you notice? Notice people have been starving. Eh? These are the people that have been starving. This guy is so starved, man, I can see the bones on his skin. Whew. The guy is starved. He's so starved. But I think the only thing that he could... I don't even know that. Oh my God. I'm so sorry for you guys. Starvation has done a number on you, eh? My goodness. Look at them. What do you notice? These are the people that have been starved. Not done. Let's take a look at starvation in Gaza. Children that have been starved. I had to stop with that nonsense, man. These are the children that have been starved, guys. Do you see? You will fall for this. Do you understand now how this has been a game? This is what starvation looks like in Gaza. You can take it off. Thank you very much. This is what starvation looks like. So, as we end the show, guys, before we close tonight, I want to leave you with something that will give you hope, something that reminds you that we serve a God who has not ceased to work, a God who is busy, a God who is really busy doing something that is marvelous, you know? Because here I'm talking about the coming, we spoke about movies, what the impacts of movies, especially movies created for children, targeting children. So while Netflix fills kids' screens with confusion and gender ideology, Angel Studio, how many of you knows Angel Studio? Angel Studios is creating stories that build faith, courage, and character. Coming this December, David, the epic animated musical relating of the shepherd boy who became king, the boy who faced Goliath with nothing but a sling and 5 stones and unshakable faith in God. This is the kind of content our children need to watch. I'm encouraging you. This is stories that inspire, story that teach them about courage, faith, and standing up for what's right. Story that point them to God, not away from Him. Stories that shows them that with God, the impossible becomes possible. The giants can be slain. The giants can be defeated. The smallest, most unlikely person can be used by God to be extraordinary. God takes the ordinary and he puts extra on it and it becomes extraordinary. Angel Studio is doing what Hollywood refused to do. Of course, it's Hollywood. What do you expect? Creating family-friendly, faith-affirming content that doesn't compromise truth or even Judeo-Christian value for trend contents that build up instead of tears down, content that strengthen faith instead of undermining it. Mark your calendars for December 25th, 2025. David is coming. And when it drops, take your kids, please. Take your family, take your church, youth group, take your neighbors, your haters. Support the content that supports our values. Because every dollar we spend is a vote. Every view is a statement and every share is a stand. So if you are ready, team, let's drop that video. If you have it. Turn it up, guys. Turn it up. When I'm looking for the way, when I'm searching for the answer, in the moments I'm afraid,
There's a whisper in the wind and a story in the sky. When I'm looking for a lantern to illuminate the night. If you want the secret of freedom and feeling alive, you gotta follow the light. Follow the light. Feel the rushing wind as you're running into the wild. That's right, yeah. We'll see the sun rise out of the ash as we hold nothing back. When the shadows come, we won't run from the fight. Come on and follow the light. Come on and follow the light. If there's one thing that I know, I am nothing but a man with the heart of a lion and the spirit of a lamb. Every battle that I've won, every giant that I've faced, I have never been alone, even on my darkest day. If you want the secret of freedom and feeling alive.
That's it, guys. I just wanted to show you a preview. You can check it out on YouTube yourself. You can check it out on other social media platform. It's a powerful video that's coming in December. Okay, so now just to wrap it up for you guys, to summarize it, to let it bring to. So let me just bring all of it all together so you understand what we spoke about tonight. We've talked about the Trump administration stance on Antifa and what it means for the world. The ongoing genocide of Christians in Africa, the world refuses really to acknowledge. The attack on Christian preachers in Amsterdam, the erosions of free speech, freedom of speech, or free speech in the UK, and Keir Starmer's what's his name? Orwellian, my God, Orwellian statements. The crisis at Maverick City Music and the questions it raises about integrities and in Christian music and Christian ministry, really. And the hope that Angel Studios brings with faith-based content like David. And we also talk about, of course, the Gazan children being starved, and now us seeing the real picture of their starvation, how they look like when they are absolutely, horrifically starved, so skinny that we can see the bones. We can count the bones on their chest. So starved. That's the common thread of tonight. Listen, guys, the world is silent when Christians are persecuted. The world is silent when freedom of speech is criminalized. The world is silent when the gospel is compromised. But we cannot remain silent anymore. We cannot let the world tell us that our faith doesn't matter, that our beliefs are outdated, that our God is irrelevant. We cannot let them keep telling us that we don't matter, that only their religion matters. We cannot let fear keep us from standing for truth. Enough is enough of that nonsense. So here's what I want you all to do, guys. First, pray. Pray for the persecuted churches in Nigeria, in Mozambique, DRC, and around the world. Pray for the Christians in the UK who are being silenced. Pray for the preacher and the preachers who was attacked in Amsterdam. Pray for Chandler Moore, Naomi Rain, Jonathan J., and everyone at Maverick City Music. Pray for wisdom, discernment. Pray for wisdom, discernment, and courage for all of us. Pray for the Glory Today show and the family and the whole team behind the scene. We're working hard. We're going through a process just to make sure that God can use us. God can make us a vessel worthy to stand here before you guys and share our thoughts and foundings with you. Second, share this video. Get the word out. Let people know what's happening. These stories need to be told. The truth needs to be heard. Share it on WhatsApp, Telegram, Facebook, Instagram, TikTok, everywhere, beloved. Don't let these stories die in silence. Third, please subscribe. Join this community. We are not here just to tear people down. We are not here just to gossip or to spread negative misinformation. We are here to build the kingdom. We are here to speak truth in love. but godly love, not the world type of love. We're here to stand for Jesus when the world tells us to sit down and be quiet. We stand tall, we rise up, and we walk. Like that song said, get on your backpack, put on the boots. It's time to rise. You know the song? It's time to rise. That's what we do. Or we put on your boots, get on your backpack. It's time to rise. That's what we're here to do. Fourth, support faith-based content. Mostly support the Glory Today show. But when David comes out in December, go see it. When Angel Studio releases content, watch it. When Christian artists create music that honors God, be discernful, because I can see on Spotify people who's secular musician, now suddenly they have songs with Jesus' name in it. Don't fall prey for the maleficence, for the manipulations, for the strategy and tricks of the enemy. Stream it when the ministry are doing kingdom work like this one. Support them. Vote with your wallet, vote with your attention, vote with your influence. And the faith stand firm. Don't compromise. Don't water down your faith. Don't be ashamed of the gospel. Don't let the world squeeze you into its mold. Don't let them squeeze you into submission. Don't let them squeeze you into fear. Romans 1:16 says, for I am not ashamed of the gospel because it is the power of God unto salvation. It's the power of God that brings salvation to everyone who believes. The gospel is powerful, the gospel is true, the gospel is life-changing, and no amount of persecution, no amount of censorship, no amount of compromise, no amount of silence, beloved, from the world can change that. Jesus said in Matthew 16:18, I will build my church and the gates of hell will not prevail against it. The church is under attack, Christianity is under attack and Christians. But we will not be defeated because our God is greater. Our hope is stronger. Our faith is unshakable. That's it for tonight. We are done. We are done for tonight. That's it for tonight's show. Thank you for being here. Thank you for standing with us. Thank you for being a part of this movement. Remember, share this video, beloved. Get the word out and subscribe if you haven't not already done so. Next show is Wednesday, October 15th, I believe, at 19:30 CET. We'll be diving into more stories that mainstream media won't tell you, really. More truth that the world needs to hear. Until then, stay strong, stay faithful, stay blessed. I pray that God favor over you, His strength. I pray that the peace of God that surpasses all understanding come upon you. May God really clean your mind. For those who've been following Candace Owen like I used to do, don't fall prey for that deception anymore because she has gone off the wagon. Stand firm, speak truth, love boldly. Don't let the world silence you. Don't let fear control you. Don't let them compromise or weaken your faith. God loves you. Jesus loves you. I'm Glory and the team of the Glory Today show. And we approve this message. Bye-bye, Zwy. Guys, see you next week, Wednesday. Shalom.